Welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing a major alarming development in the Middle East. The conflict between Iran and Israel has escalated dramatically after Iran launched multiple missile attacks toward Israel early Thursday morning. This event marks a serious turning point in regional tensions and raises fears of a wider war in the Middle East. In this report, we will break down what happened, why it happened, and what it could mean for the world. Early Thursday morning, Iran launched several missiles toward Israel. According to Israeli military sources, multiple alerts were triggered across different parts of the country, including the city of Jerusalem. Residents were asked to take shelter as explosions were heard in the area. Despite the missile launches, Israeli emergency services initially reported no immediate casualties. However, the attacks have significantly heightened tensions across the region. These missile strikes come after several days of intense hostilities between Iran, Israel, and the United States. The situation has been escalating rapidly, and this latest attack represents one of the most direct confrontations between Iran and Israel in recent years. The conflict intensified after a major military incident involving the United States. Reports indicate that a US submarine sank an Iranian warship earlier in this week. Reports indicate that a US submarine sank an Iranian warship earlier in the week. This incident significantly increased tensions between Washington and Tehran. Following this, both the United States and Israel carried out strikes targeting Iranian facilities. Iran then responded with missile launches toward Israel, signaling retaliation. At the same time, Israel has been conducting military operations against Hezbollah targets in Lebanon. Hezbollah, a powerful armed group based in Lebanon, is widely supported by Iran and has been involved in multiple conflicts with Israel in the past. As Israeli strikes hit Hezbollah positions, thousands of civilians were reportedly displaced from areas around Beirut and southern Lebanon, expanding conflict across the region. The conflict is not limited to Israel and Lebanon. Iran has also reportedly launched missiles targeting Kurdish opposition groups located in Iraqi Kurdistan. Iranian state media claims these groups oppose the Iranian government and pose a security threat. This development shows that the conflict is spreading across multiple fronts involving several countries and armed groups. Experts are increasingly concerned that if the fighting continues to escalate, more countries in the Middle East could become directly involved. Nations such as Iraq, Syria, and other regional powers could potentially be drawn into the conflict. What could be the impact on global economy? Beyond the military developments, the conflict is also beginning to affect the global economy. One of the biggest concerns is the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway through which a large portion of the world's oil supply passes. Disruption in this area could significantly affect global energy markets. Shipping routes in the region have already been disrupted, and oil prices have started to rise due to fears of prolonged instability. The head of the IMF has warned that the conflict could test global economic resilience. Rising oil prices could lead to higher inflation and economic uncertainty across many countries. Some governments are already preparing for possible financial turbulence. For example, South Korea has activated a massive stabilization fund worth tens of billions of dollars to protect its financial markets from global volatility linked to the conflict. World leaders are calling for de escalation. Governments in several countries have urged both Iran and Israel to reduce hostilities and avoid actions that could trigger a wider regional war. However, the situation remains extremely volatile. Military actions are continuing, and diplomatic efforts to calm the situation have not yet produced a breakthrough. Many analysts believe the coming days will be critical in determining whether the conflict stabilizes or spirals into a broader regional war. The Middle East is one of the most strategically important regions in the world. It contains major energy resources and key international shipping routes. Any large-scale conflict there can have global consequences. If the conflict expands further, it could disrupt oil supplies, damage global markets, and trigger a humanitarian crisis across several countries. There are also concerns about the involvement of powerful military. Iran's missile attacks on Israel mark a significant escalation in an already tense situation in the Middle East. With military operations continuing across several countries and global markets reacting to the uncertainty, the situation remains highly unstable. The world is watching closely as governments and international organizations call for restraint and diplomatic solutions. The next few days will be crucial in determining whether tensions cool down or whether the region moves closer to a larger and more dangerous conflict. Thank you for watching this report. If you found this video informative, please like, share and comment. Thank you.